crossover to the Bomas of Kenya, where business leaders are speaking. I guess this is in connection to the elections. Let's listen in. We'll be back with the conversation.
Lee can hold. Lee, you hold it. Sorry, Lee, you have to do the job. Hi. I'm losing eyesight. Okay, we're ready to start?
Yes, we're fine.
Thank you very much. We have a statement here from Kenya Daima. Kenya Daima notes that the voting process on 8th of August 2017 was largely peaceful. Kenyans woke up in the early hours and braved long queues to exercise the sovereign power granted by the Constitution to elect their representatives in democratic elections. We have seen images of the diversity of Kenyans who turned out to vote and engaged in their usual manner, usual humor as they did so. Actually, they were talking to each other. Article 138 of the Constitution is clear on how the process should proceed after voting. And the Court of Appeal provided important clarification of the counting, the tallying, and declaration of results. Until that process is concluded, the election is not complete. In addition, Article 140 of the Constitution of Kenya provides a very clear and time-bound process for the resolution of disputes relating to the presidential election. Kenya Daima therefore urges all Kenyans to remain calm, and as we wait for this process to be concluded and dispute resolution mechanisms to be exhausted. Further, and in the interest of national peace, we as Kenya Daima hold the following. Notwithstanding any issues that may have been encountered, what is important now is to confirm the final election results in accordance with the principles set out in Article 81E of the Constitution. That all political parties are major stakeholders, and in this electoral process, and any grievances that they may have must be addressed satisfactorily through the mandated institutions, in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of Kenya. In a similar democratic process to this election, Kenyans endorsed that Constitution as the supreme law of the land, as enshrined in Article 2, and undertook to defend it as set out in Article 3. That these mandated institutions respond to issues raised by any and all stakeholders in a clear, concise, and transparent manner. That politicians and leaders across the political divide be careful with their public utterances in this politically charged atmosphere. That the media exercise utmost professionalism in their delivery of information by ensuring that all news shared with the public is factual, accurate, and devoid of sensationalism. That the election observers, whose role is to provide independent and impartial oversight to ensure free, fair, credible, and peaceful elections, issue and publicize their reports to all stakeholders. That the public verify all information shared out on social media for authenticity and avoid fueling conversations that may trigger any form of violence and division amongst the people of Kenya. That in the interest of lives, livelihoods, and building shared prosperity, that more normalcy is allowed to resume immediately. We all need to go back to work tomorrow morning and resume normal. The institutions are providing what they need to do, and that process will continue. The commitment and determination that we saw in Kenyans in the voting process is a testament to our faith and the belief in democracy. Our democracy is now maturing. Let us honor the sovereign will of the Kenyans who set aside everything to exercise their right to vote. We also want to convey to the international media who today we have seen images of violence, images of certain things that happen in the country, and they're classifying this as Kenya is now up in fire. Kenya is not up in fire. I think this is an issue that we will resolve, and the institutions will resolve this in a good manner. So we want to commend all the local media for having been very, very responsible. Ni wajibu wetu, and our responsibility right now is to get back to work tomorrow and resume normalcy. Thank you. I will now introduce Simon Kimutai, who's here, and he's going to talk about transport tomorrow.
Thank you.
He's the chair of the Matatu Owners Association.
Thank you. As we wait for the processes of completing this exercise, I think it's high time that people decided to come out of their houses or they stay there and starve. We know very well that we can't stay in the house for many days. One day or the other you have to come out. We know that there's been fear that has been instilled in you. And you know the greatest weapon against humanity is fear. We want to urge Kenyans to come out. We in the Matatu sector are ready to provide public transport from one destination to the other. We don't discriminate. We are non-political. And we want to give services to Kenyans. We want to tell those who are going to work there is enough transport for you to get to work and back home. What we just want to tell you is that we have already made arrangements for proper security. For those members whose vehicles, they are in fear that their vehicles could be damaged, I want to tell them we've made arrangements for security, for them to ferry the passengers from one destination to the other. So Kenyans should come out. We stop being fearful of uncertainties. Let's come out and so that we can be able to make everything normal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The statement is available in writing. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 5.
And that is the business leaders in Kenya speaking about the elections and also cautioning international media on some of the reports they're making, of course, out there in the international scene, saying